Hey, Miss Mish.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
So good to see you. I feel like we haven't seen each other in a while.
It has been a while. You were off on vacation. Let me try pull up.
No, we was off on no vacation. We went to funeral. Went to funeral last week Saturday. A dear friend of mine and church member Roger Morgan. Actually, his name was Denzel.
And
Um,
so,
yes, but he was called Roger. He had another middle name that was hard, but he had a nice first name, Denzel.
yeah, Denzel. Let
Yeah.
me try to pull up Facebook so that we're on to make sure we're on.
Okay. Let me check YouTube to make sure too. So if there are people out there watching and listening, then we'll know that we are all here. So they are to be here as well. Yes, and I see that we are on YouTube. So let me say welcome all in this space.
My Facebook not loading.
Lots to talk about. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, lots to talk about. My Facebook not loading.
Yeah.
No, I think
It says that it's live and it says that
no,
what
I think it's just my Facebook. Like it's not
okay.
coming up.
And it says, well, it is here and I can help you out by saying Angela Shepherd says, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Angela Shepherd. Good to see you. Juliet Rose says, good morning, ladies. Have a great day. I am present, she says. So Juliet, get a sticky for being present, and so too does Angela. Angela is here and on time for starter class.
All right, let me get another phone.
So we're good. Ladies, everybody, we have so much to talk about. So much has happened in Jamaica since we've been not present for school and for conversations. This week is Black History Month. This week in Jamaica is Reggae Month. So we have that to talk about as well. But and you people over in Florida have a little bit more to talk about Black History Month because it almost is a slap in the face of Black History Month. Certain announcements that I heard coming out of your neck of the woods over in Florida there. But we'll we'll see and hear what all persons have to say about that. Me have my own position on it, but is Uno live there? Is Uno is Uno fault? Angela says, I haven't turned for a while. Good to be here. Yes, and we're happy that you're here too, Angela. Welcome. Let's hope we can have a conversation that you enjoy. The topic did ask of you, who's your favorite artist, reggae artist? But we get into that and you can tell us why and who. You all sorted out, Mish?
I'm trying.
All right. I'll get into some news to catch us up in terms of what's happening. Teachers say no to pay package. So there was an ongoing dialogue with government and the education sector, represented by the Jamaica Teachers Association. And so in today's paper, it says delegates of the Jamaica, and I'm reading from the Observer, teachers say no to pay package. Delegates of the Jamaica Teachers Association on Friday rejected government's compensation package at a special conference. The JTA delegate said 585 delegates voted, with 560 voting to reject the offer. 24 voted to accept. The JTA said it is writing to the Ministry of Finance outlining the outcome of the meeting and seeking an improved offer. Wow, that's a resounding no to that, whatever it was. And I don't know what it was that was on offer. I really don't know, unfortunately.
Are you part of the JTA?
No, I'm not. You find that a lot of the private institutions, like Catholic College, we don't belong by nature to the Jamaica Teachers Association. Not that we're exempt from it, it's just that I just never figured. But what they get don't impact us one way or the other. If them get it, them get it. If them don't get it, we still
Okay.
don't matter to us. Though it guides and what our compensation packages need to be competitive, but it's not always like that. Mhm. You find yourself?
No, I don't know why every device acting up. Every device acting.
Heslop is here. She says, "Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Heslop. Heslop, I hear it cold. My daughter tell me it's minus 20 something yesterday. What's it like today?" Eva says, Tulet says, Bob Marley. Okay, we're going to get into the favorite artists. So that's fabulous.
Do you want to monitor Facebook and then I do YouTube?
All right, fine. I'll do that. I can do that. So your Facebook just not coming up.
No, I don't know
And
why.
then show you off of Facebook and you don't know, me.
I'm telling you, maybe I was blocked. What could I have done to be blocked? I don't know.
God. All right, so that's the teachers. They say that there are things we certainly continue to have negotiations and talks with the government about, if it is that we're serious about retention of experienced and quality teachers. If we're serious about the sustenance of an education system driven by Jamaican educators, she says, then our government really need to rethink and come again. That is the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. So,
well, her points are valid, but I don't know what the package was or what the teachers need to survive, but it does maybe need improvement based on the standard of living that's getting outrageous. And with all the changes. So yes, they have to be competitive because I do see where companies are aggressively recruiting teachers to go overseas for employment. So they have to compete with those packages that are being offered because that's causing a bleed to the education system because the best of the best are leaving for better opportunities. So they do have to get competitive and offer more.
yeah, teachers have been complaining about salary levels and compensation, whatever is the full package. And I think that based on like a dirty survey of speaking with some educators within the public sector, they really are a little bit distraught that they're losing a number of benefits and, just dissatisfaction with the fact that so many teachers are in fact leaving and yet it is not being made attractive enough for them. So I hope they can come to an agreement on it at the soonest because I'd really hate to see another slew of teachers leaving the classrooms because invariably you lose teachers who are experienced, you lose teachers who are qualified, and to lose anybody these days is just hard.
Well, why they're doing this negotiation now after the school year started? Shouldn't it be done like during the summer break? Because suppose the teachers decide to strike or, take industrial action. It wouldn't be good for children attending school. Then this be, that's just my opinion, addressed before the school year started. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know. I think it's an ongoing discussion, and it seemed to be going on for a little while, and it's just another phase of it. The truth is that if someone is going to strike, you want to disturb something. So no, it's probably a good time.
Yeah. Hopefully they work it out.
Well, for the sake of our students and the sake of the profession, I certainly hope that an agreement is reached at the soonest, and so that we don't lose no more people. Just can't afford it.
Really can't afford it because the students are not doing too well. Not only with that, as you see how they're acting out now. This
Yes,
whole fighting and beating up teacher. Did you see the teacher that got so angry that he said he would, assault this child? Which I kind of sympathize with him, but like as an adult, he has to set an example, which I think they put him on suspension.
well,
But
tell you, it had just existing. There's so much that just provokes you, and it's so easy. Just in your normal day, going about your business, to lose your cool and to lose your control of your emotions. And I suppose it's probably compounded when you're in a classroom with all those students annoying you and you're thinking about all kind of things. But he needed to have managed his emotions better.
Yeah, kind of hard. It's a hard knock world for the teachers. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's sorry, Hush. Yeah,
Okay.
but that how important they are to the classroom at this point in time, we really can't afford to lose any more teachers, one way or the other, whether by suspension or any other route.
Yeah. You're rough, man. You're rough. Well, hopefully government meet them where they need to be met. The teachers.
Um, Angela Shepherd is on. She said, "Oh yeah," she says, "I'm with you, Eva, Bob Marley, all the way." So Angela and Eva are supporting Bob Marley. Cordella Land says, "Good morning, all. My favorite reggae artist is Bob Marley. He had the ability to sing about social justice." Or Cordella, what do I want to come up and say Bob at the thing? Gavin says, "Good morning, Michelle and Dr. Diana." VM Heslop says, "It is snowing right now, so it might not be that cold." Oh, okay. Angela says, Eva says hi to Angela. Juliet Rose said, "Agreement sooner than later, please," in capital letters, because she's desperate. So that's my covering YouTube, covering Facebook. How are you with YouTube?
Nobody is on. I see people on actually, but they're not saying. We have a few people watching, but they're not saying anything. Please talk. I'm monitoring YouTube today, so let me know your opinions. And I hope you enjoyed the show today. And tell us about your favorite artist so that I could bring it to the mass. And we have a nice guest today. It's a surprise.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting character. Sonia Grammy and says, "Good morning, Michelle and Dr. Diana. Sorry, guys, Bob for me." Wait, everybody has said Bob. Then warm to the other artist, then man. We forgot go on better than this.
And only Bob, you have a lot of new upcoming artists. Say hi.
Hi, how are
In a
you?
while.
Age?
You just feel that? Yeah, I'm good. All right, go back to your room.
Thanks for dropping in on us. Always a welcome change to have a handsome face. Yay.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping in. That was nice.
Yeah.
The age to drop in.
Yeah, but you have a lot of other great artists that are coming up that are positive and bringing conscious music. So dig in.
Well, 11 o'clock, we get into the music part of it and argue with all of them. Somebody come in good and say, "Yeah, Dennis," but we get to that. All right, so we had, Michelle, there's another article of news, quite topical. And I want to go to the new act. So as at end of the January, everybody was hustling to pay their tickets, their outstanding tickets in Jamaica, because after that you're going to get in some big fines and major trouble. But coming on February 1 was a new act relating to the road traffic law. And Pete Phillips, is not Peter, what's his name? Michael Phillips, on February 2nd, there's an article that says opposition spokesman on transport, Michael Phillips, has called on the government to exempt Hackney contract and route taxi service from the law on child restraint systems under the new Road Traffic Act until better arrangements are made to transport children, particularly in rural Jamaica. So he made a call in a release last Thursday in which he said the government uses parliamentary majority to bulldoze and vote down several opposition proposals aimed at improving the draft of the new road traffic regulations. Responding to public concerns, particularly Section 73 on child restraint systems, Phillips said the opposition had proposed hundreds of amendments, most of which were defeated. He said that although the provision was not new, successive governments by conviction never enforced the rule on public transport operators, whether by buses or taxis. Neither the police nor transport inspectors had been enforced, ticketed, or prosecuted any offense in this section. Fast forward now. So he complained about that in Thursday. Fast forward to this morning, and you will see the government. Have you seen an article, Mish, since morning about the Road Traffic Act and the Prime Minister saying that they're going to change it?
Yes, I did see that where they said they're gonna revise it after a lot of pressure from the public and other individuals, which they knew it was coming. They should have reviewed it before. And based on my understanding, this proposal was done by the prior administration for the Road Act. So I don't know if they didn't look at it before to realize the implications of these new proposals that they're doing, and to figure out if, especially with the car seat provision, which most Jamaicans can hardly afford. They don't even own a car, much as to, look to get the car seats. So I don't think they reviewed it thoroughly before the final implementation. And that is why they have a lot of hula and all that's going on. But I did see where the opposition said that we made a mistake, so they would have reviewed it, which is a good approach, that they all need to go back to the table to review and make the amendment. The car seat one, like, in theory, it is good, but practicality, it would never have happened. And it would be a burden. And especially with a lot of people not quite understanding of the law itself. But you see, as the taxi operators, because they're in fear, because they're the one that's going to get the ticket, they're refusing to transport these children. How are they going to get to school?
Right. And yeah, that's so true, Mish, because what the opposition spokesperson said on Thursday was that, they had proposed those adjustments in the past, but the government probably just didn't recognize it as being necessary. So I'm happy to know that they've recognized that it is necessary and are making the adjustments. Because like I say, especially in rural Jamaica, the whole taxi going put booster seat in there for children.
Exactly. I think obviously it's gonna cost more. People can hardly afford to pay taxi fare, but if the seat does take up a whole spot. So imagine you have to put 2 in. So you're gonna have to cover that cost. So you go charge more. So how people are gonna be able to afford it? And then I can't transport my own car seat. It's gonna take time for me to set up a whole car seat just to get in the car to go where I'm going. So in practicality, it made no sense unless they had an alternative where the government for public transportation offered these vehicles with already established car seats and boosters. So people within the community had an alternative. Like if the taxi can't take them, they say, all right, I could go on the public, transportation that the government offered. So they have an alternative to get to school or get to work or the doctor. Because this lady, she stated that she wanted to go to the doctor with her child and no one would take her because they're like, you need a car seat. So, like you have to wait.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there was a person
And
that
some people who got left by the regular taxi because them just couldn't.
Yeah, so I'm glad they realized the error in this decision, and I'm glad that they're addressing it. And it comes to play where the government should look into offering public transportation for these school students, like school buses for these children to be transported from their school to different spots within their community, where they could also outfit those buses with the correct devices, the booster seat or the car seat, and do it at a reduced price for parents who can't afford it. And it would be safer too for the children because they're traveling on these government buses.
Yes, Michelle, but let me tell you, as long as I have lived, I think they've been working on a public transport system that would facilitate schoolers getting to and from school. I don't see it happening today. And if it is that you're going to put an act into place and enforce the adherence to car seats and that's booster seats and stuff, then certainly you would have had to have the transport system in place at that same time. So you're saying this is a law and this is a support for it. Other than that, I can well understand the taxi man saying, well, that is two seats that that child going to take up. Who won't pay for it? Because usually the mother would come in and the child would sit in the lap or something like that. Um, I don't know. It's hard.
I
I
don't
mean,
think it was thought through thoroughly because nothing was in place other than to penalize people. I don't see where they have any options or grace period. Cause like before they even look to do it, like even offer some car seats or something, some proper education towards it. Nothing was done.
yeah,
Just say, okay, you go pay how much $1,000 you go pay.
must it
So
12?
well,
Holy, whatever it is, it too much though. Tell me no.
yeah. But I do like some of the other provisions though in the act, which makes sense. Like the whole, texting and driving
Yeah.
is a good one. The motorcycles,
That one is $10,000 there, no, Mish.
that's good. It should be more. It should be more.
I think that people
Like,
need to make sure that them have Bluetooth on them speak on them thing, but like a taxi man can't have Bluetooth though, because everybody now got us hear when him a talk, anything him a talk, say.
yeah, but they should focus on the road. When that's the point. Focus on the road. When you get to your stop, then you talk.
Them can
And
get Bluetooth head thing in them ears and use that. I guess we should have probably bring in a shipment at that time. We could have sell that.
yeah,
Wee. But that's a life go.
yeah,
So
but it's a good thing.
Michelle, it's Black History Month, and I touched on something while you were running off to one of your rooms, and I didn't pick up an article, but there's a particular announcement in Florida, and sitting in Jamaica, it kind of disturbed me. But I don't know. You want to tell me about why there is a move afoot to remove African American studies from the curriculum in Florida? Or did I not hear properly?
Well, the thing is that they are looking to remove some aspects
Okay.
of African American history. They're not looking to remove slavery, the whole background of slavery and all these. Based on my understanding, they're looking to remove like the BLM movement and these recent woke things that have been happening. That's what they're looking to remove. Because they're thinking that it is changing the mindset of these children, how they think. So to me, I've been out of it because people are just sitting back and let this happen. And we have these elected officials that should be really there arguing on our behalf. I didn't vote the last election. I know I always say vote. I didn't vote the last election because I've seen where it really like does nothing. Like when these
So you live in a garrison in Jamaica. When people live in garrisons, they nobody vote because the results are already known and it is going to happen. So, but you can't take that approach in America.
I know, but these
Georgia.
but these things are like when you vote these people in, they're all powerful and talking about all these things that they're doing. And when I do get them there, the only thing I see them posting is, oh, I'm taking a picture with this person. I'm doing, like I don't see what you're doing to bring back to the community and how to improve our community on issues that impact our community. So I'm like, why am I voting for you? If somebody else comes forward and said they're going to run and they're going to make this difference, yes, I give you an opportunity to do it. But obviously for the presidential election, I will vote. But for this, I knew that DeSantis was going to win because I did see the change in how people were viewing things. Because in Florida, they believe that we, the people, should be in control of decisions within our household. whether it is in regards to how we educate our children about relationships, gay, marriage, whatever. It should be up to the family to do it, not you telling a school to teach our children. So I saw the wind was changing. So it's not necessarily that people are Republican, it's just like they feel like they were losing a lot of powers that they had as a family. So I saw that the change was going to happen where they would vote for, not necessarily like DeSantis, but they wanted that control. So that's why I see what's happening. So I know DeSantis would win. And so that's why. And then with these new changes, like I see where we have education, more funding for our community that's not being done, but they were highlighting other issues because they had their personal agenda that wasn't like looking at the bigger picture. That is what we wanted to achieve. Better education funding for our schools so we could get at a higher level, because Florida does not test at the highest level in regards to education. So, but we weren't getting that. We wanted more transportation, like the railroad to come here so we could, move from Jacksonville to Miami instead of driving. We didn't see those things being addressed. So to me, the issues that impacted me was not being addressed. So that's why I didn't vote. It wasn't even on the agenda. So, but the teachers I did see were upset. Some teachers were upset that they had to remove a lot of the books from their shelves to teach, children. But yes, despite this, I did not see any of the lawmakers that we put there aggressively going to even address these issues. Even the colleges, they were bowing to whatever was being done. So I'm like, this is why I got discouraged.
So the colleges and universities probably are in agreement, and
Yeah.
it is the voice of the community that needs to be heard. So I am still going to chastise you for not voting. I am still going to slap you on the wrist for not voting. I am going to slap you on the wrist again because you perhaps need to offer yourself for service within your community so we can start the ball going. You understand the laws of things. You're very logical in your reasoning about things. You're very rational. You're not really on the one extreme or the other. You see, you give the merit to where the merit belongs. And so I'm going to provoke you, Michelle, to consider starting offering yourself for service within your community. Because if Martin Luther King and if all the others had said no, then where would we be if we all just sit back and allow the lawmakers as they get voted in or continue to ascend the political ladder and the control and the authority in the country continue at that pace? What is going to happen when Mr. H reached the high school?
That is true. And that is why I put my child in private.
All right, let me go back to my notes. Ladies, you had the gentleman on the road with the rules of the road. Oh, he probably need to come back, Mish.
Yeah, I do think he needs to come back to explain more.
Why everybody need car seat, or what the law is going to be. Yes, Miss Juliet, thanks for reminding us. We'll take care of that. Juliet says, thank you, Dr. Diana. Every vote helps, especially in Florida. Missed about for you. Heads up, but you have to hold them accountable when you vote for these people. Exactly. You can't excuse them. I agree with your Heslop. Once you put them in, you have to begin to write them and provoke them and remind them and threaten them probably sometimes to tell them, say, well, if you don't comply, then we're going to have to go move you out because this is not what we put you in there for. Monitoring and evaluate them and all of that. Evelyn Williams says, my favorite artist is, somebody is voting for Dennis Brown. You go, girl. What's your favorite song from Dennis, Evelyn? And then Heslop says, slap her hard, Dr. Dana.
Don't leave me alone. No, I was very adamant. Everybody needs to vote. We have, that's our right, our voice, to change. But I didn't see it happening with any other candidates that was running. I'm like, I'm not wasting my vote. None of them were worth it.
It's not a waste of vote, man. You must go exercise it. Juliet says voting is. I don't understand her for that. Juliet very upset with you. You're gonna have to go make up. Thank you, Dr. Diana. Whether private or public, accountability is important. Yes, accountability is important. So Mish, next time you come, you better tell us you decide that you're going to offer your service and go up for mayor or something like that. Why not? Why don't more Caribbean people participate in the political system in the US?
To be honest, I do, you have a lot of Caribbean people or their children that are actively involved, actively running for office, actively want to create the change that they need on issues that impact us. But it's that within, like myself, this last election, I always vote. Like our Caribbean people are not actively going out to vote. I guess because, as I said, they don't see how it impacts them directly. So they're not going out to vote. It's kind of hard to get them to go vote. I know like everybody look at the presidential election because that is major, but they don't look at these the local elections, like governor, mayor, sheriff,
Yes, and
judge,
commissioner that. These are
commissioner.
critical roles to play.
They do, because they do make decisions that
They
directly
manipulate and
impact
control
us.
everything at the end of the day.
Yeah, they do. And the sheriff is important because they make policies. They help to work on policies that look at how they deal with our African American children within, how they lock them up, all these things, and how they want to change the structure so it's more inclusive. So it is important. So don't get me wrong. I know the importance of why you need to vote. Do not follow me. Go out and vote. The last election, I just did not see any candidate that I wanted to vote for.
All right, all right. We're not keeping Michelle in the doghouse. She's confessed her sins. She's accounting and she's starting, she's advocating for people to go out and vote. Mish, we should probably make an effort during this Black History Month to see if we could tap some of the political representatives in of Caribbean background or parentage or something to make them come and talk and tell us how UNO can participate more in the political system, in the power that there is in it, rather than just sit down and gripe about it. We need to find ways.
We need to. And the thing, another important thing is that I always harp on. I know the right thing, but I just didn't vote this last election, so don't kill me for it. But we have another major election that is coming up, right? We have it coming up. And a lot of people need to go out and try to apply to become citizens so they're able to vote. Because if you're not a US citizen, you cannot vote. So it's important that if you qualify to become a US citizen, review it, if you meet the 5-year mark because you came through family or marriage 3-year, look at review to see if you qualify to be a citizen, then go ahead and apply to be a citizen. Because that vote is very important, because you will be the voice for your community by voting. And we do need people to go out and vote on these major elections. So start now by applying to become a citizen.
So Michelle, on the matter of citizenship, and this is a diversion now, you can only vote in the election if you're a citizen?
Yes, if you're a US citizen. So nobody tell you.
Presidential election, any election?
Any election, you have to be a US citizen.
Oh, so I have been living in the US for argument's sake for 10 years. My mother did file for me and I have a green card. I can't vote?
No, you have to be a US citizen. And actually, if you do go ahead and vote, it will impact you because you could end up being deported, lose your status. So definitely, you can only vote if you're a US citizen. So if you think you qualify or your friends, family might qualify, ask them to go ahead and vote, because we have some major issues that are impacting us in regards to immigration and these new policies that we want to change. So definitely, if you think you qualify to be a citizen, go ahead and start doing the application process right now. Fees are going to also go up soon, so definitely put in your applications right now.
Oh, to apply for citizenship, they're raising the fees?
They have a proposal. We don't know the exact date, but there's a proposal. So at any point, they could say the fees are going up. So, and it's a couple hundred more. Wow. So if you feel like you qualify, no, definitely go vote. I mean, go apply to be a citizen so you could vote. I know the importance of voting, people. As I said, don't kill me. I
All right,
just didn't.
Michelle, we're not beating you up on that. In fact, I'm quite interested to talk about how you get from green card to citizenship. Um, is it a long process? Some people
Not.
get people who them know from long time. And them have relationship like from Jamaica and them come up and them married to them. When they married to them, it take a long time for them to get vote, or it's better that their mother filed for them.
Well, it's quicker to go through marriage, or if you're a minor, it's quicker, and also if you're a parent of a citizen, the time frame is shorter. Green card holders is a little bit longer, but it's quite easy. Like once you're married here, you're married for 3 years, you can apply to become a US citizen. If you're still married, like usually if you get divorced or something, it might be delayed where you have to wait 5 years. But if you come through any other means, after 5 years, you can apply to become a citizen.
Okay, so you come to America by whatever means with a green card. You have a green card after 5 years, 3 years of being married to a US citizen. That probably is how you got your green card anyway. You can apply for a citizenship. But if you're separated from that person, or if your mother had filed for you and you're not a minor, and how old is a minor anyway?
Usually under 21.
Okay, so I'm 25. My mother filed for me and I come to America, and I'm 25.
5 years. But even if you're a minor, once you become a citizen, like if you're a minor and your parents, you can get it through your parent if you're a minor. You could become a citizen through your parent. But usually the default is most people, if they want to do it on their own, they wait 5 years.
Okay.
To apply.
One other question, I know I probably should be paying for this, but if I'm a green card holder, can I file for somebody?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
you can.
So you can have parents up there who are green card holders, but them file for them pitney. So
yeah, they can, but it takes a longer time.
Oh, okay.
In another category.
Okay.
But you can petition. Okay.
Okay. All right. Fabulous.
But citizens, though, if you qualify, do it because major elections are coming up. Very important to vote. Don't follow me, people. I know leaders should set good example, but don't follow me. Okay.
And she is just this month. Usually she votes, and she's a very good citizen. She practices what she preaches. So guys, don't judge her for it.
Okay, on YouTube, one comment. Generation Old School says, speak for yourself, Michelle. Caribbean people understand the importance of voting. They do understand, but oftentimes they don't go out. And studies have shown that a lot of people from the Caribbean don't go out and vote, especially in Florida. And a lot of even Spanish people. And if you look at the numbers, a lot of them really don't go out and vote. But we do need them to go out and vote.
Well, I want to know how we can run for office. Whatever office it is, how do we get on that ballot in order to run for office? I'm thinking I have somebody to run for commissioner of something down in Florida. So I want to
just run, meet the qualifications, apply, make sure you get your sponsors.
Okay, so you need to know when the elections are going to be. You get your sponsors, and then you get registered on a list, and your name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're off to the races.
All right. On the matter of accountability, I am here to account for my garden and.
Oh yeah, how far are you with it?
I ordered seeds.
You just ordered seed, not plant yet.
Mish, oh God, don't judge me like that.
It's like 1 month. Come on now.
What's wrong? I ordered the seeds. It took some time for me to get them. So now I have lettuce, I have squash, I have carrot, and I have two kind of lettuce. One, I like this lettuce because it's fine. The leaves are fine and good on this lettuce. That's my favorite. Is this one the iceberg? Yeah, whatever that one is. And I have the other, and I have carrot. Don't judge me like that. I have seeds. I have to start somewhere. The soil is ready, the pots are ready, and I have tomatoes as well. So I ordered my seeds. My seeds came in, and I'm going to plant.
Okay, so if I try to plant in summer, will I be able to get a garden salad and a nice meat? How long is it going to take?
How long is it going to take?
Yeah. When are you going to start planting?
I started planting this week. But I need to figure out what I'm going to plant first, because the soil had to, the place has to be prepared properly. Hopefully the man will come Monday and prepare up the place for me. But
Yeah.
I'm on my way. I have seeds. If anybody out here have no sucker, them can send them come.
So I get some yam.
No, because then I'm going to go get
Just one stick you need.
you know nothing about here. I come and tell me about just one stick.
Listen, the family of farmers from St. James,
No, you
John
have to put the yam on a mound and then set it in
Yeah,
a
and
way
then it
that
set
it
the
grow.
stick. Yeah, and it set a stick, and then the vine go up on the stick.
More importantly, you have to put the yam on the top of the thing so that it grows down. You didn't know that? It's not so much.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
know all of that, but you know what I'm saying. I know the stick. So
All you know is that the yam must have stick.
yeah.
Sandra Sterling is here. Betsy, how are you? She says, good morning, my gorgeous panelists and beautiful fellow listeners. One love. So good to see you, Miss Sandy. Welcome, Betsy. Yeah, she's here. All right. So I think we covered the news. Locks, Miss, there's a little piece of sad news whenever I even touch it.
No.
A piece of sadness about that little girl, the 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
Unfortunate. And I hope they did get the right person. But they did say they arrested somebody, and it goes to show usually somebody close to the family. It's kind of hard. Who do you trust? When you have these people around your children, but people have to be mindful of who they bring around and introduce their children, and always keep an eye out for your child. I know the mother did everything right. I'm not saying she did anything wrong. Things happen. But to be so callous is really sad, for our innocent little girl. But we have to protect our children. We have to do more to protect the children within our community.
But where do we go from here? What do we put in place to address this, which seem to be just out of control? I think that the family would have spoken sufficiently to the children about what to do, what not to do. What next? I'm lost for words because the truth is, when I saw the article, I was just so depressed. For days, I was just depressed.
It kind of hard because I know a few years ago, like I think this happened consistently every year, some brutality against a child. And every time we say, oh, what can we do? What can we do? And nothing has been done. So is it a matter that we're going to take really seriously and try to address? Because after we finish this 1 week of saying how outrageous, how could this happen? We still see children just walking the streets by themselves. We still hear about these abuses. We still see children running away every day. We see their pictures in the newspaper. We don't know what's happening to them. Even the other day, the agencies that are supposed to protect these children are protecting these monsters. In regards to that guy from the US-based organization, they just let go of the lady that was head of the children protection or whatever division.
Protection services.
Yeah, because she was going out of her way based on the news, not me, to protect this individual. So how are we really, like, these people are in power to protect the children, are still not doing their job. So what are we going to do really for our children? We are outraged, but at the end of the day, nothing is being done. The parents, some parents take it on themselves to be more vigilant with their children. Some are just still lackadaisical with their children. So we don't know, like, what is going to push everybody to make this major change and listen to the children, especially when they talk about what they're experiencing.
But who is to make the change? Who are we to expect this change to come from? How does that little family demand change?
I don't know.
What do they do? Has the church been far too silent on these matters? I think the church too silent on these issues.
Yeah, but the church side, but also we see years ago, it was a church that was actively involved in most of these cases too, with these children. So it's like, who's going to protect them? Because remember, the pastors a few years ago were consistently in the news abusing these children. So people who are supposed to be protecting or in authority are, so it's for the children, like how do you protect? I remember growing up, my grandmother wouldn't allow me to go anywhere without her being there. Like she had me, not even my mother could take me and drop me off anywhere. That was, like how she was protecting me because they know danger lurked outside. I couldn't go into a room, be locked up with anybody playing. And I'm the kind of the same with my son, where I try to have an eye, but you can't watch a child all the time. But like between the family, church, everybody needs to be actively involved. I know the schools have guidance counselors for children to go to in the event, like they having issues at home. But what comes out of it?
I don't know. Perhaps there is a need for more counseling support for parents because when you were growing up, you just said you had your grandmother who would be that protector for you. But how many of these two children grow in a family where it's not them going home alone to be alone until somebody come from work? Was it that the society were we better able to support a family structure than we are to support a family structure? No. Is it that we just don't care no more? Our family don't exist anymore. And if family don't exist, what happened? What happened? Why is it that the grandmother not present? That grandmother could be the one to pick up. Why is it that grandfather not present? That grandfather, do they have to work? Are they doing this because the cost of living and basic supplies are just so expensive and everybody have to work?
Yeah, that is true. Cause I know you see more children like waiting at home. I remember even growing up too, like the children, like my friends, like what we go with, like usually they would meet the parent at, like you meet them. I know the bakery, like my godmother was the owner bakery, like we would wait there.
Right.
Like you would wait there, or you wait like whoever, like the parish council, like they would have their children wait there for them to meet them to go home together. So you would see the parent with their children going home, going on the taxi, going home. But now I see like really young children, like from the basic school, walking by themselves. And I'm like, why are they allowed to even leave a school by themselves? Shouldn't they have an adult check them out to, like sign them out to walk with them home so you can account where they go? And I know like a taxi would pick them up. The taxi would maybe should sign them out. Like I pick up the child, I drop the child right here. But that was what happened in this situation though. The taxi operator said he left her where he usually left her. So obviously they knew something happened between when he dropped her off and when she's supposed to get to her house.
Right.
But they should have like maybe walking groups.
Yeah, and the point at which she gets dropped off, somebody should be picking her up.
Yeah, walking with her.
To walk her home. I think that the communities need to become that again, become a community where we take turns probably. So this week is my week to pick up the pin them at the bus stop and drop them off. Next week is somebody else's turn. Community need to become that communities. Some more comments. Sandra says she's going to do grocery shopping at my yard. Yeah, with my vegetables. She says, please send lots of love, prayers, and virtual hugs to one of our fellow listeners. Oh, Patricia Barnes,
her brother passed.
Her brother passed, and today is the celebration. They're saying goodbye. Patricia and family, we certainly hear your rest of your family in this space, sending love and hugs. I speak for Michelle and myself that we are really saddened to hear of the loss. We've commented on Facebook about it, but certainly as you go through this struggle, this final goodbye, which is really hard. It's so hard when you go to a funeral now, Mish, and observe the immediate family. The funeral is on Saturday. The wife just kept going back to the casket, It is so hard because it's so final. Oh my gosh. And I know you struggle and it's probably fresh in your head, but we understand Patricia and family. Marcette, I think, is our other sister as well. We truly understand and we send you our love and blessings. And I speak for Michelle as well. I know it's happening too.
It's rough.
Troy Barnaby said, up and running. Good morning, people. Good morning, Troy. Welcome. We're glad to hear that you're up and running, mean you're in good stead. You're all is well. Need not worry or fret about you. Guys, it's been a good morning. This month is Reggae month in Jamaica, and we did say, what is the story? We did ask, who are your favorite artists? And we're expecting to talk a little bit more about this. Please don't forget to share on Facebook the link so more folks can be watching and joining us.
Yeah.
The more the better. Oh, Lorna is here. Farmer Lorna. See the farmer here? Good morning, ladies. Interesting topic. One thing I noticed, the grandparents are very young. Sometimes
Yep,
in their 30s, they're all working, they're all out
that
working.
is true.
Ah, that's so no. So that's why the community don't work anymore, Michelle.
Yeah,
That's
they're really young one, like 30 something, 40. I'm like, wow.
grandparents. That time we just had look for a pitney in my 30s.
I tell you.
Oh my gosh. Sandra says that was for me, my grandma's final send off. Couldn't leave her casket. I know them things hard when we go off funeral. Feel the pain. I mean, it's hard enough, but you feel the pain for the immediate family because them just cannot bring themselves to leave the casket. Lorna, you Hamilton Blackwood, Farmer Blackwood, let me tell you, that is so true. The parents are young, the grandparents are young, everybody out working. Well, it's not
Yeah.
fair. They need to work out some other structure of support because they have to support the children better than we've been supporting them. Clearly,
Mhm.
clearly we need to. Can't go on so.
They have to make a change, man. Even if they have the community center where they have them go to evening classes, while the parents work, and then pick them up from that location and then bring them home. But they have to do something. Or the church can have an after school program where they sit and parents come after, or an older sibling come after and pick them up. So then even though you see like a few fires happening with like children being left out at home alone,
Mhm.
and you're like, that's not right. But they have to do something, man, and figure it out. And you have older people that can't necessarily go to work, but they could do aftercare or do, babysitting, employ these individuals, like pay them a stipend, everybody come together, pay them so they're able to do these things. But we have to do something. It can't go on like that. We have another comment on YouTube. Thanks, Generation Old School. Great point about the community working together, Dr. Diana.
No man, we all have to get together and do something together. Can't just sit down and a lament and a ball and expect that somebody going to solve it for us. Communities need to take control. There's just far too much abuse of the children. And then if that wasn't bad enough, the very next week, no, we say then can't come in a taxi. Then taxi man them I say no children under 12. I saw like a video where that taxi was putting on a poster on the side of the car that says no children under 12. And I suppose
That
he's
is
making
sad.
it is sad. I don't know if did you see that little video? There was a little
No,
video.
I didn't see that video, but I know they were saying because they're confused. And the thing is that they're not being educated properly about the laws anyway. They just know that they're gonna be penalized, so they don't even know the workaround. Well, there is no workaround. They didn't do an exception to the rule. But so they're just doing it most extreme. And it was sad. The videos I did see were children left on the road
Wow.
and this mother like walking with one on one hand and one holding one and one in her hand because no taxi would take
Because
her.
not should have to go pay the full cost of the taxi to carry them. It should be
No, she
like,
never have a car seat and the taxi never have a car seat.
oh,
So she had to walk to where she was going.
whoa.
So yeah, it was kind of extreme. And they should have foreseen this.
Well,
They should have
that's what
foreseen.
Felix was trying to say to them, hey, these guys, this not when that part not went to work. We should have fixed that.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have, or give them a grace period. Like, say, all right, this law is going to be implemented. Because it kind of shocking to every people when it just came in. Because maybe in the last week, give them grace period was, all right, by this time, you need to get a car seat. We go work with whoever import car seats, sell car seats to give a discount, whatever, so you could get car seats. But do things leading up to it. Instead of just drop it, bam, and then like, okay, bam, you get it. You have to pay this money that they don't have. So then they go see people keeping their children home. Like, why send them to school? Why go anywhere?
Anyway, take it back at you. Sandra says the community should be watchers and protectors of each other, but trust nowadays is scarce. And that's true because I'm sure probably this very violator of this young lady would have been somebody who they would have looked at to trust. So we have to go do everybody have to go do tests before they can say, "Art, can we trust this person?" And families. VMS says families have to move to where jobs are, and probably that is one of the reasons why there are no family members around. And perhaps that is true. And but how do we leave our children unprotected and then make them become victims of those less trustworthy within the circle of family? You know, I don't know. It's hard.
It's a scary world. It is a scary world. You don't know who to trust. Who is a predator? You don't know who.
Juliet proposes background checks, but Juliet, until you live in Jamaica, you know, background check are not necessarily a good background check as you would in America. There is no history. That history is not readily available. So if I'm dating somebody, I can find my ways to go do a background check. But a lady down in Hanover with a nude man to come around the place, and she probably know him from them that grew up from when, and she know a Ufa cousin and all of that. That is her background check. And she's fine with that. But whether or not the man is a bad person or not to be trusted, how do you assess that? How do you assess that? Part of it is really hard. So the background check not really easy. Yeah, she said me no. Yes, we are.
It's kind of hard because sometimes the closest to the children that usually abuse them. People who you entrust them with. Cousins, brothers, like it's so sad. You know, trust. Sad world, people, very sad world.
Lorna Blackwood says my mother would watch us like hawk. She had my sister at 46. My sister told me when she was 15, she was walking down the street. A boy came out and started walking near her. She just hear her mother over the line, property, property. They
were rough back then, you know, cause growing up in my community, like even if the mother or the grandma never watch it, is a neighbor.
Yes.
If the neighbor see you doing something, they run them out long time.
Yes. Too close, too close. Sandra says, well, tell Betsy regarding background check. Yeah, man, background check. Not so easy in Jamaica at all. But it's somewhere where we should be able to go to at some point. But more importantly, I like Michelle saying, you know, the community centers could become places of safety, safe spaces where children can come to and wait and probably get something warm after school, do them home,
snack,
and wait to be picked up. But the community going to have to come together and decide that for themselves. So it might be a church hall. They might have to approach our church and say, our church might get up off its essikesi and say, okay, I'm going to offer this church hall. We need to establish who is going to monitor it and rotate who monitors. The children come here, they wait, and they get picked up at 5 o'clock. We have to figure out ways to help ourselves as
well. Or if the school themselves could have extended hours and teachers can do overtime where they said to the parent, pay us this amount, we'll stay extra, you know, a longer time with the child, and then get it that's extra money for the teachers.
But then we should come back to another issue, because when the teacher need to go far to go pick up for them picnic from somewhere too, and the children not near the school, it's not like in the States where you have this little radius that you go to school within this radius. Some picnic go well for them class, for them school.
Yeah, which is sad.
Taxi for go to school. So until the education system is as such that everybody feels like they're getting a fair education within their community, then you know it becomes an issue. Or we have this transport system to take them to where they and carry them back.
What happened to the train? Remember last year they had this train?
We're not on a train.
It stopped?
I don't know. Remember they only had the train up in Linstead, you know, so it's only one community that
they never expanded.
It hasn't yet been expanded. Juliet says it takes village coat.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. We are a selfish set of people. Those days, sad, sad. No, Juliet, so I agree with you. Said seemingly that those days are gone. I have to take a little call here. But Miss,
I
you
think it's 11 o'clock, so we should have a guest coming on.
want to talk about him a little bit and let me take me a call for a quick moment.
Okay, so we have a guest today. As you know, it's Reggae Month, and it is an important time where they highlight all that's good about reggae. They put on a lot of shows in regards to artists that are here. I know they did something for Dennis Brown the other day where they did kind of a memorial where they had music highlighting his life, his story. But for the entire month of February, the Jamaica Government Ministry is putting on various events around the country. Also here in the US, in Florida, I know they're doing some events to highlight Reggae Month. I'm trying to pull up so today we have Ewan Simpson. He is head of the, one second. I'm sorry, people, hold on. Why everything acting up for me today? So we have Ewan Simpson on today. He is chairman of the board of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association. He's also an attorney, and he's been with them for quite a while. So today is coming on to tell us what's planned, the great events that are being planned, and what artists are going to highlight for this month of February. And he's going to tell us a little about his organization, which I do think all artists, reggae artists, should be involved in and become a member of. So he'll be on at 11. He was on last year and the year before. They have great shows. I know one show that I see that will be going on today is Essence of Reggae Music Festival. That will be in Kingston at the Police Officers Club. I see that with the stamp of Reggae Month, so I guess it's endorsed by them. I'll ask him. And the gates open at 6 p.m. They have like Tanya Stevens and a lot of great artists. So it is good to attend that event. I guess he's also going to tell us about where to access the information so we're able to see the artists and the various performers. So it's 11 o'clock. Gonna follow up with him to see if he's tuning in. I'm not able to access Facebook to see all you people talk about your favorite artists. My favorite artists, I have a lot that I listen to and I do enjoy, but I do like Chronix because I like the message that he brings forward, the positive messages that he brings. And Protege, I do like because they touch on issues that are directly impacting our community. And it's positive in the sense that it's telling us like how we can do better for ourselves and for our community. I don't like always talking by myself. Where's Dr. Diana? You're back on?
Okay, so I hear you. Chronix is your boy in the reggae space. Going back old school, I love Jacob Miller. I think he's probably one of my favorite reggae artists. And then on the other side of it, I absolutely love Tanya Stevens. So I love
tonight.
She on tonight?
She's performing tonight at the
Tanya Stevens performing tonight?
Yeah, at the police.
Really, she is?
Yeah, man, the Police Officers Club.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see who putting on Tanya. Tanya on, man, I want to. I haven't seen her perform in ages. COVID and all.
It's called Essence of Reggae.
Okay.
It's only $5,000 at the gate. But all the artists look like conscious singers.
All right, let's go check and see how much for the tickets and whether or not it worth the energy if you go join the line.
I think
Or
it's worth it.
somebody broadcasting it, then it would be so much easier.
Yeah. Did Mr. Simpson say anything?
Yes, he says that his Zoom is acting up. It probably updating or something. You know, anytime you want to jump up on Zoom is when it updates.
Always.
And he said, give him a minute. He says to give him a minute.
Give him a minute. All right, because it's always on time based on
electronics. Anybody else say who is their favorite artist? Guys, who's your favorite artist? Talk up the thing quick. Everybody.
Yeah, I like this guy now, and he's performing. I see that he's doing a performance. He always tells a story. They said he's gonna perform at Pegasus. He hasn't performed in years. Oh my God. What's
Who's
his name?
that?
I wanna sing Ramgot. Ramgot.
Lucas Shervington.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if I could afford to go.
So he's performing tonight?
Like a week ago or so that they said someday in February he's performing, I believe, at the Pegasus.
The same day my church having the fundraiser. Hey guys, in Jamaica, my church having our annual Valentine's fundraiser. It's Sunday, February 12th. It's at St. Thomas More in Maypen. So if you're in that neck of the woods or family, send them for come out. We usually have good food and good entertainment. Yes, he performing that same day. That's how I know.
Where? At Pegasus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could afford, if anybody wants to sponsor me.
But you can catch up with him in Florida because he performs mainly in Florida. I think he used to spend some time at Bahama Breeze or something like that. Something like someone on a little place for now.
I think the experience will be more authentic to attend. Get all dressed up and listen to his stories.
And everybody singing along, don't?
Yeah, it would mean more. Cause Bahama Breeze are just like, you know.
Who is that man singing?
Yes. So I think that would be good to be there. But every year I say I'm gonna come down in February to go to some of these events. And I
come
nowhere. I need to do better.
Yeah, you ought to plan your diary better than that. Juliet says Jacob Miller, Dennis Brown, Bob Andy, and many more oldies but goodies. She's an oldies but goodies girl, but who is your preferred artist? Diana is here. She says, good morning, everyone. Diana, how are you? Good? She says, I listen to Dad's Bob Marley music. Do not know if that is reggae. Yes, it is. Hi, I see we have Mr. Simpson on. He's all here in all his glory.
I don't know about glory, but I'm here.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome again.
Welcome. Thank you so much for taking that moment to come tell us about your organization and all the activities planned for Reggae Month and centered around you. I know you come from Clarendon. I know you never had the pleasure of going to Clarendon College. I know we hold against you today, but
I can appreciate your concern.
Okay, to highlight everybody also, I'm from Clarendon. I found out the other day.
You're from Clarendon?
Yeah, my grandfather left Clarendon and went to Trelawney where he met my great grandfather. Where he met my great grandmother. I am from Clarendon.
Okay, good. So it seems to be a central Jamaica thing then.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about, Yon. We know that you're an attorney, but how lawyer mix up in our reggae?
Well, it's a very good mix actually. I have always been involved in music, in the entertainment industry. I mean, from a child in church, all of these things. So I've always done music. Through my high school, the one that you think is not necessarily the better one, but we can differ on it. But from my Glenmuir days, I've been involved in choral music, in popular music, in gospel music, classical music of all forms. So when I came to Kingston after high school, it was kind of an easy transition. I expanded the work I was doing through the Universal Singers, through the JCDC movement, where I became a national adjudicator. And I formed my own band. I started to manage artists.
Hold on. No, don't skip over that. Tell us about you forming your own band.
Yeah, so I formed a band. Well, the first band I formed, actually, I was a part of, I actually helped to form, was a band called BMW, which was formed out of Irving Hall on the Mona campus with myself, O'Neill Mundell, who is now a captain in the army and a doctor of music, and Mr. Lawrence Nelson, who we all call Nello, who was musical director for the Panarhythm Steel Orchestra at the time. So we formed a group where it was a trio that did all sorts of interesting experimentation in Black music. So the BMW really stood for Black Music Workshop. Okay. And so we tried to experiment with different things. And then out of that, and alongside that, we were doing work with the pop band that supported the University Singers as well, and the Irving Hall band. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I formed a group called Intonation, a band called Intonation, which was primarily in the first instance to support the first group I managed, which was to ISIS. They have become Kingston Rockers since, and other people have gone off to do other things, like Dwayne Stevenson was one of the members. He's now a solo artist.
ISIS or something like that. What? But it don't exist anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't exist anymore. There's a smaller group of them that's left, probably about 3 of them, and they call themselves Kingston Rockers. But Dwayne Stevenson is a solo act in his own right.
Yeah, I know his name. Yeah.
Right. So that's where that's where the pop band part of it really started, and I've done some work with some other bands in the interim since that. But Intonation remains the band that is my staple that I work with.
They still do it?
I still do it. In fact, Intonation was the band that supported our tribute to Dennis Brown that went this past Wednesday.
This weekend? Oh.
This week, Wednesday, yes. So Intonation was the band, I understand. And so I've continued to do music even while I was studying law. In fact, when people saw me in the summers or Christmas time and so on, they didn't know I was gone anywhere, whether when I was gone to Barbados to study or when I went to Italy to study. Nobody really realized that I wasn't here because I was still involved in the industry. And whenever I came home, it was as if I had not gone anywhere. So there are lots of people in the industry who didn't know, one, that I became a lawyer, and I've been a lawyer for 18 plus years now. Right? And 2, and a lot of people who know me in law don't know what I do in music. It's kind of almost parallel lines. But then there are those people who know everything mixed together. I decided back in the day, and this would be now probably some 23, 24 years ago, that I needed to do law to support what I was doing in the cultural and creative industries, because I found that it was necessary. It needed that kind of structure. It needed somebody who understood the inner workings of the cultural and creative industries to be able to support it legally and so on. So that is kind of the mission that I went on when I decided to go and study law. Hence, then going on to do a master's in intellectual property and so on. But I don't think this interview is about me. It's about
No, it's about you, but it's interesting. You have an interesting story. Very interesting, yeah. But
and Michelle is an attorney as well, so our ears all peaked up to say,
I love hearing it. I love hearing the backstory. But what I wanted to know though, that is why you formed our chairman of this organization, so you can assist them the legal.
Well, Jaria, interestingly, Jaria kind of morphed during the time that I was actually doing my master's. So 2008, 2009, in that period of time, Jaria kind of came into itself, and I was one of the early members and directors of Jaria. Not original, not the first set, but I became a director of Jaria probably around 2011, 2012, thereabout. And then I moved on to other things again, and then I came back to Jaria as chairman in 2018. So it was it's a kind of a calling. They decided, no, I had the skills, and even though I didn't have the time, I had the commitment, so I had to do it. So I said, fine, I'll give it a go until somebody else is ready to take it, because it is a relay, you know. It's not about any one of us sitting down forever. Our first chairman was Freddie McGregor, who did great work to try and put it together. And then came Mr. Ego Cooper, and then me. So I believe that I am part of a very rich lineage of chairman of this organization.
That's good. Okay, so in regards to Reggae Month, is it birthed from your organization, or is it something from the Ministry of, you know, for
so Reggae Month was declared by the Governor General. And so Reggae Month is a celebration of the people of Jamaica. However, Jaria in the early days became the flagship organization that carried it on behalf of the government, because the Jaria is actually an industry association. It is not an entity of government. It is not a political organization. It is not any such thing. It is a coalescence of members of the entertainment industry who want to lobby, who want to raise standards, who want to raise awareness, who want to have conversation, you know, who want to support each other. And so it started off with reggae as a music organization, which is a music organization. But we have seen the need to expand the perspective of reggae as not just a music form, but as an ecosystem that includes word, includes music, includes gastronomy, includes fashion, includes all the legal underpinnings, all the business considerations, you know, all the representation that is necessary, all the production elements, everything needs to be considered. Because when we talk about the reggae industry, notice we are not the reggae music industry, it's the reggae industry. So the music is the catalyst, but it is much more, as the music has caused a mushrooming, you know, of interest and activity and possibilities around what we call reggae.
All right, so reggae music is a catalyst of this wider business of reggae.
Indeed.
Back up a little bit. I mean, excellent to have started with Freddie McGregor, one of my favorite Clarendon people as well.
That's right. And Ibo's a Clarendon man too, so it seems to be a Clarendon thing.
Really? A Clarendon thing, and then Michelle after you said they were good now.
Yes.
It seems to be a Clarendon thing.
But I want to back up a little bit. I decided to look to get a definition for reggae and to understand where that started. And it took me back to another Clarendon person.
Toots.
So, is that a true story about how did the word reggae, how was it coined? And I mean,
well, certainly Toots is the first person to have put it in a song. And so that kind of encapsulation of it, that record of it is the first real record of it being used. And so I have no reason not to give the credit to this Clarendon man for having been the first to use the term.
Yes. So I mean, all credit to
Toots
for reggae.
Indeed.
Another.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before you get into Michelle's response, this is there a distinction between dancehall and reggae, or is, like I understand it, dancehall a part of reggae music?
So there are several perspectives on this. When we use the term reggae from the perspective of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, we are speaking of an umbrella term that encapsulates all forms of Jamaican popular music, from mento, ska, rocksteady, lovers rock, dub, dance hall, whatever form Jamaica's popular music takes, we are welcoming and engulfing that. However, when you speak from a musicological term, there are reasons to think in smaller capsules, because even when you say reggae, there is a challenge in being discreet, because if you think about the kind of material that Toots did after ska, after Rocksteady, because there are some people who feel that Rocksteady was the earliest and shortest genesis of reggae. And there are people who talk about lovers rock and think that it really is reggae. And then there are people who think that the dub part of reggae is more dancehall than reggae. And then there are those who think that 80s, 90s dancehall is dancehall and not reggae. But the older it gets, in terms of the time span within which the music is produced, the more people associate it with reggae and think of it as more of a vintage form. So there is still a musicological conversation that is ongoing, which we welcome, for persons to talk about why do we call lovers rock reggae, but we want to call dub dancehall. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So from our perspective, we don't want to get into that quarrel. We want to say Jamaican popular music that has certain particular elements to it. We are embracing it, and we want to support an industry that brings that to the world.
Okay. I know. Yeah, I was gonna ask about Toots, but what are your plans now for this month, and what are you highlighting for Reggae Month?
Well, there are a whole heap of plans, some of them we've already kicked into gear. We started, the ministry had the launch and church service on Sunday last. But of course, the first thing that Jaria did was our Reggae Wednesday event called Revolution, a tribute to the Crown Prince. It was on his birthday. It was the first day of the month. It was the first Wednesday. And so we had an amazing show with George Dux, Christopher Martin, Rasai, Miguel, Shadis, and oh Lord, I'm forgetting the young lady and Pan's name again. But
I have to remember.
Yeah, it's a lot to remember. But
Yeah.
But yes, but we had an amazing show. We have an element of our celebration this year that we call a Taste of Reggae, and it's a tribute to gastronomy. So it's a tribute to Jamaican food and different kinds of Jamaican food and different spaces in which Jamaican food is enjoyed, because we want people to understand that reggae is not just about a music form.
Where are you on?
So we what we have shown so far is Misty's. That's a restaurant in Ocho Rios. And it's an amazing space with amazing food. Then we stopped at the Pudding Man in Prairie. And because that is just we Clarendon people love the pudding.
Hallelujah.
And hallelujah and the middle, so we stopped at the Pudding Man and we spoke to him as well. And then we went to Fireside at Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay, and also Fireside in Clarendon. I know Fireside is original Clarendon.
Fireside was in Clarendon.
No man, Fireside is originally in Clarendon, but they also have a shop at Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay. So those are the ones that we have done so far. Of course, we have others coming.
For the purpose of people in the diaspora, let us back up a little bit and tell them what Fireside is. They understand the Pudding Man because they see it, but tell them what Fireside is.
So Fireside is a jerk center. It's a well, and everybody knows what jerk is. But you get all forms of jerk at Fireside. You get soup, you get festival, you get rice and peas, you get authentic Jamaican fast food. That's really what it is. It's authentic Jamaican fast food. And of course the name comes from how we say it when you go to cook. And traditionally Jamaicans are not cooking on stoves, you're cooking on stones or blocks or something outside, and we call it the fireside.
Yes.
So it's just where the food is prepared.
Okay, so in regards to the food and you're stopping on these locations, do you have like artists also performing? Is it like a road show where you go to these locations and put
So,
on?
no, so what happened is that we brought the cameras in and
Mm,
interviewed these people and looked at what they're doing and created a feature, like a 2-minute feature that we then use for our live events. So we mix that into our live events so our audiences can see something else, and get another perspective. So, and we want to mix that also into our Reggae Open University conversation series, because we have and we have had for years a series we call Jaria Reggae Open University, where really we bring education and entertainment to people in the same space. But mostly it's a conversation about best practices and about the possibilities to advance reggae.
okay, and how do we access that?
So that's easy. I mean, it is easy to access everything that we're doing. You can actually go on jariaentertainment.com, and that's our website. And you will find all our social media handles there, and you will find links to live streams for all of the things that we are doing at jariaentertainment.com. So that is actually the best place to go. And then, of course, if you're an Instagram person or a Facebook person or whatever it is you are, you can find your links there to access the information that we have. And of course, to access the information that the ministry has in a broader context, you would go onto the Reggae Jamaica app.
All right, let me just pause and catch up with some comments. Sandra says, good morning, Yuan. Welcome to the best show. Most beautiful panelists and the best, beautiful and brightest fellow listeners listening currently. Thank you.
Excellent. I'm happy to be a part of that.
Yeah. Carlin says, nice to have you on. UWI Singers is one of my favorite choirs, she says. Lorna says her favorite artists are Gregory Jacob and Maxi Priest. Diana says, I love Fireside. When I hit Jamaica, it is jerk everything, pork, fish, anything. She says she missed the website, and if you would say it again, or perhaps type it into the chat so everybody can see you on the website.
Absolutely.
Because those people in the diaspora really want to know and want to be able to participate. I like the idea of the conversations about reggae and how you're attempting through your organization to educate the wider population about things reggae. Is there a possibility that beyond the dates of these conversations that we will still be able to access them?
Absolutely. So it is all the information and all the shows that we stream continue to remain on our website. We have, of course, Jaria on YouTube. Our YouTube page always has recordings. So if you go on our YouTube page now, you'll find the Reggae Open University conversation we had on Thursday, and you will find a recording of the Reggae Wednesday show we just did. Okay. So it's all there.
All right. I'm tickled by the Reggae University, and I want to perhaps offer my services and say, hey, I have a PhD in education. I might be helpful.
Absolutely.
Supporting.
In fact, I need to link you with our Director of Education, Mr. Othniel Halliburton, who is also a well-renowned guitarist in his own right. And a lot of people would see him. If you see Chris Martin performing anywhere, he has on the tightest shirt behind Chris on guitar. So you will see him. You would see him in videos with Etana from back in the day. He was part of Fifth Element band and so on. Yes. So he is an educator in his own right too. So you would have very great conversation with him about education and how we are going to use this thing called reggae to also educate.
Right. And certainly I'm really excited, looking forward to an opportunity to link with him. If you could share my details with him, I'd appreciate it. But
absolutely,
you raise a good point, and particularly as we become increasingly concerned about the education sector here in Jamaica, the fact that we can use that which is available and which the wider population embraces, our music, to educate people, teaching math through reggae, teaching
absolutely
reggae, teaching principles of good behavior through reggae.
Absolutely. Because the reality is for some strange reason, we're afraid to embrace reggae as a nation. As much as it is us and who we are, and when we go overseas, it identifies us. And people talk about Bob Marley and they talk about Jerk and they talk about all of these things when we go overseas. At home, we kind of shy about it, and it's very strange. And I have my thoughts about how we got here, but it is amazing that this thing that is our best or greatest competitive advantage globally is something that somebody or some force somewhere is telling us that we should be ashamed of, or is telling us that we should relegate to entertainment only, or to frivolity only, or to one of those things that you do co-curricular, extracurricular, or one of the things you get involved in if you're not so bright.
Not so bright.
You know, or if you're not a PhD, or if you're not a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, then if you're just a regular teacher, you can probably do it. Or if you never did well in school, you can go play some music, you know. Not understanding
the miseducation.
Absolutely. Not understanding the power of music as a global phenomenon, but even more so, the power of reggae as the conscience of the world. Because that's the other thing that we do understand, you know. Yes. We like to say that Jamaica is the heartbeat of the world and reggae is the heartbeat of the people. But the message of reggae has also been the conscience of the world. And most of the struggles that have existed in the last 50
man, how them take down the wall and break down
absolutely
that.
Berlin. I mean, you can name them, you know.
All of the struggles, there's Jamaican music somewhere in there that was driving the vibe.
I'm telling you.
From apartheid to the freedom of the people in Angola to all of those.
Yes.
Everything.
All of those struggles have been, and it is amazing that a lot of African leaders, a lot of people in Africa embrace reggae as the music of their struggle.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but not only those countries though, because the other day there was this prime minister of another country that quoted Bob Marley. Like when you do see them do their speeches, they quote them.
Oh no, the prime minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, uses it all the time.
Yeah.
She always comes out with the lyrics of Bob Marley or Dennis Brown or Peter Tosh. She uses that rhetoric, and I find it amazing that you have very few Jamaican leaders who do it, but other people in the world do it. And I'm saying, why aren't we embracing what we are? Why aren't we legitimizing what we have? You know, so that's another conversation that we want to explore as we go along. But you know, sometimes we have to creep and then walk and then run and then sprint and then fly. You know?
Yeah, but sometimes we just have to get up, because sometimes I think that we just sit down for too damn long. But Michelle, if you would copy the link into the chat, so everybody into Facebook chat.
Oh, remember, my Facebook isn't working. I'm blocked. I don't know.
You've been bad.
While you were talking.
But I can say it again. You know, it's JARIAENTERTAINME.
Michelle, put
that make sure that I don't let down my school, you know. JARIAEntertainment.com.
Yeah, but while you were talking, I thought to myself, is it something that your organization can do? Like change the direction and the way of thinking?
Yeah, well, we're trying, you know. We're trying, but there's a little challenge. And that is, and so we will talk as much as we can talk. We will organize as much as we can organize. Try to show people, try to do shows like these where we raise awareness and raise consciousness, you know, and raise the image of reggae. Because that's another thing. There's a perception that is only a particular kind of person that supports reggae. And I want people to understand that just like we have street food, street food becomes gourmet because it comes from a legitimate place. and it has strategy, and it has process, and it is clean, and it is tasty, and it is healthy and nutritious, and all of these things. When you think of reggae, the same principle is true. But there are people who would like to equate it with something which is unclean or unsophisticated, you know, or too simple, or too black, or too poor. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to raise the consciousness of Jamaicans and people who love Jamaica to say, this is something that we should hold and be proud of. The artists across the world that are making the most money off reggae and who are flying the flag of reggae higher than probably everybody else are not Jamaicans.
True.
And are not, and many of them are not even black people.
Yes,
That's true.
I think we dropped the ball. Let me get back to some more messages before you go any further on. Diana was asking for the website. I just posted the link for the website on Facebook. So guys, on Facebook chat, you can find the link for the organization and keep up. Subscribe to their YouTube channels, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, and follow them on Twitter, wherever else is your space.
Absolutely, lock in everywhere.
In late July to August for 2 weeks, and she's looking forward. This time she's bringing the toddler because the toddler loves spicy food. So true, Yuan, she says, my spouse doing his regular Saturday morning thing, blasting his reggae music in the basement. He knows and appreciates reggae more than some Jamaicans. It is surprising how some of the European background can relate to the reggae, while some of us Jamaicans look down on it. So she's really supporting that point that you've raised, where we just deem it as being common, irrelevant, and not sophisticated enough to appeal to our palate.
That's right.
This thing of reggae music, but
we've been taught that, you know, to be fair to some of us who are not as enlightened, we've been taught that nothing black, no good, that anything come from Jamaica can't have high value, you know. So some of us are surprised that Blue Mountain coffee is the best in the world. Some of us are surprised that Jamaican blackstrap molasses is of the highest quality that exists. We talk about, you know, there are so many different things that when you talk about Jamaican castor oil and the value that
Jamaican
has
black castor oil. Let's be specific. Jamaica black castor.
Black castor oil. Yeah. So when we talk about these things, and people say, "Hey, you're serious?" I say, "Yeah, man." But you see, if we take ourselves for granted and we believe that it's only foreign things good, but yet when people come, they want real sugar cane in Jamaica. They want real
coconut water.
Coconut water. You know. When we talk about things like I was talking last night to some friends of mine, and I was talking about getting bammy from border. When you go the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, it is the nicest bammy you will taste in the world. And when you have bammy, you don't need bread. You know what I'm saying?
And it's much more healthier than the bread, to the truth be told.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. And so when we just need to be able to appreciate what we have, the value of it, not just the economic value, but the gastronomic value, the health value, the social value, the political significance, because there are people who would want us to believe that we are a little backwater, we are a little banana republic, and we're not sophisticated and we don't really know nothing. So we must take what foreigners tell us. And that is part of the reason why we are also not as proud of our marijuana as we should be.
All right, you're going into a totally different realm, but we're going to save it for another time, that marijuana, because it bothers me as well, that we have seemingly lost our way on the matter of marijuana, its use, its application, the long tradition of its cultivation and use in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Everybody is making money off it. Jody and Earl says, so true, so true. Mental slavery is high amongst the people of Jamaica. And it's perhaps just like Yuan has said, it's a matter of our education or perhaps our miseducation.
Absolutely.
But it continues. This is a conversation that we can have certainly all month. But we're going to pause on it. We're going to say, Yuan, quit talking about all that food. I cannot get some just
I'm telling you.
I remember going to Jamaica early teen and driving with my dad to that place, Border, and eating non-stop. She lamented. So she's not appreciating you.
Listen,
appreciation,
just jump on a flight and come. Just jump on a flight and come. It's reggae month. You will get food and music and fashion and everything. So come.
Everything in between. Johan, tell us what's on for this weekend and for next week. And before the month is out, we're inviting you to come back so we can wrap up,
Absolutely. So this evening Jaria is endorsing an event called Essence Reggae Festival. And this will be held at the Police Officers Club, which is beside Ranny Williams. Okay. And so that is put on by Frankie Music. That will have quite a few of Jamaica's best acts, emerging, established, and stalwart acts will be there on
Tanya Stevens.
And indeed, Tanya Stevens, Makian.
Yeah, that's the one I'm telling you about.
Makian, Dwayne Stevenson. I mean, there's so many acts who will be on it. I can't even.
How much are the tickets and where do we get tickets?
Could I ask a question? Is there a reason why they didn't put the names of the artists on the flyer?
No, man, there is a flyer with the names of the artists. Yes.
Okay, because I was looking, I was like, only Tanya Stevens, to me, like I recognize, but I didn't.
No, man, so you have, no, man, there's a flyer with, voicemail is on it, Rasai is on it, choir is on it. There's so many acts that are on this. Probably I should try to send it as well in the chat.
All right. If you do, we will post. We'll definitely put that.
And there will be great food too. There will be a caterer named Let's Eat. I think they'll be providing the food, so there'll be food.
Yes.
Michelle, you up on this thing more than me, who live right or so.
Yeah, one of my friends posted it. I don't know if you know her, Carol Phillips posted it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will be on today. That will be on today. And then, of course, we'll be having tomorrow. We also partnering with the Sky Gallery to do a month-long art exhibition at the Sky Gallery. And these will be musicians, reggae musicians, and Jamaican fine artists. So Jamaican musicians who are artists, as well as artists who are giving tribute to Jamaican music and Jamaican musicians. And that exhibition will be on at the Sky Gallery all month long. It opens tomorrow. And it is a partnership between the Sky Gallery and Jaria. Then on Monday, by the way, Sky Gallery, it's at Phoenix Avenue.
Yeah, located.
It's Phoenix Avenue.
At the end of Phoenix Avenue.
Yes.
Get to NCB Sports Club. You've just passed it.
That's right. So it is, if you're coming, well, wherever you are, and if you're coming from Devon House End or you're coming from King's House End, it is in the middle. Right? It is just before you get to the Police Officers Club, or just after you pass the Police Officers Club. That turn, it takes into Phoenix Avenue. I will not say that it is beside that place that is now famous. I will not use them as the marker.
No, when I know that place.
Exactly. So it is there, and the exhibition will be on some great works by Jamaicans, by Jamaican musicians as well, about Jamaican music. So come and see that. On Monday, of course, it's Bob Marley's birthday. Yes. And so we are also partnering with the Bob Marley group to do an event at the Bob Marley Museum, where we will be showcasing, and of course that will be streamed live, acoustic presentations, including some of our song winners, because we had a song competition leading up to the start of the month. We had a song competition, and we chose to.
And you had enough entries and all of that and all
absolutely, of that. Absolutely. And we made some very great selections. So 2 of those will be performing on Monday. And then in the evening, there is the ministry is putting on a large concert in tribute at Emancipation Park, in tribute to Bob Marley as well. Then Wednesday, we go, Jaria, to Montego Bay, to Harmony Beach Park. And we have 2 events at Harmony Beach Park. In the middle of the day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have something we call One Drop of Harmony. It's a daytime show. It's free to the public. Great reggae music. Great acts will be there presenting for everybody who wants to come to the beach and chill in the heat of the sun 96 degrees in the shade, enjoy some great reggae music in the daytime. And then in the evening, as the sun sets over the west, the western coast of Montego Bay, we are also going to have the pulsating sounds of reggae in a show that we call Word Sound Power. That will have some very powerful lyrical giants and emerging giants in music in Montego Bay, and both are free to the public. All our events are free to the public. So all our Jaria signature events are free to the public.
Including that event tonight?
No,
that one
tonight,
is a cost.
tonight is an endorsed event.
Okay,
and that is Frankie Music's
I just want to
event.
be sure. All right.
Right. But our signature events, which are ROUs and Reggae Wednesdays, are free to the public, and they're normally in open public spaces. So that's that. And then we get back to our second leg of our Reggae Open University on Thursday, and we'll be having conversations with singers, with performers, old and new, just about their experience and about best practices, and trying to, to get everybody in synergy and find solutions to make this thing what it really ought to be. The following week, we come back to Festival Marketplace on the waterfront, downtown Kingston, again courtesy of the UDC, to have Love a Dub, which is, of course,
which day is that? But that is next week, so we're going to talk about that next week before we get.
It's the 15th.
All right, it's fine. I can live with that. Philip
So
said,
Valentine's Day.
do you
the day after Valentine's Day? Yes.
do you have any activities in Miami? And he is crying. He is saying, do you have any activities in Miami?
Yes. As a matter of fact, go on Instagram. We are partnering with the Bad Boys of Reggae Inner Circle, and how could I forget to say that? And they are doing events in South Florida. So check out the Bad Boys of Reggae, their pages, and you will see all the events that they are having, that we are partnering with them for that. They're having some exciting events, including a gospel concert on the 21st, I think it is. But they're having something every Wednesday.
Okay.
As well.
And that's the Bad Boys of
Reggae, Inner Circle.
Reggae.
Inner Circle?
Yes.
The Bad Boys of Reggae. Okay, fabulous.
While you were talking,
go ahead, darling.
Kingston to Montego Bay, you never mentioned Trelawney.
Trelawney
is a hot spot.
Trelawney is a hot spot, but unfortunately, I was saying that earlier, I was starting to say that when we were asking the question about what we are doing and how we're getting it done. There are financial constraints. And so we try to get to the polls and see if it will spread from there. But one of the things I would really love to happen is for those persons in the diaspora, yourself included, who have access to, and I don't want it to seem as if we're trying to solicit grants or doles. We are saying there is a way that we should invest in this industry so that it can pay the appropriate dividends. So if there are people who want to invest in what we're doing, and your investment can be direct or indirect, have a conversation with us and let us see how we can make it happen. I insist that if we are able to produce 3 new stars a year, just 3, and if they can get the right support with the right team around them, we're talking about management, we're talking about styling, we're talking about musical direction and training, we're talking about putting the right bands together, ensuring that the right marketing is in place, and ensure that the right business model is in place for all the elements that we can extend from an artist, whether it be merchandising or artists being used as brand ambassadors, all the different possibilities that exist from which we can make money. I'm saying those are possibilities if we are able to invest in what we have, because it already has a natural demand globally. But it can't just happen.
No,
we have to invest in it
without the support. And
correct.
We quite agree with that. The diaspora you want to support. I think the structure and the organization that that Yuan is leading, building on the backs of those before him, is something that we ought to look at in a serious way. And Michelle, we must have you on back before the month is out. And there's so many other issues that we could talk to you on about as the month continues, as the year grows. But Yon, at this point, we really have to just thank you so much for being really open, for taking the time to come chat to us and share so openly the activities that are available for all of us to participate in, even though them not on the side or them in 10 feet of snow or 10 inches of snow, whatever.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. I am always willing to have this conversation because it is my passion. And I am prepared to do it virtually or in person. My passport is always on the ready.
All right, so you see, Michelle.
But you know, before you go, what I want to know though, the next time is how you're trying to get these young artists to join your organization.
So we can talk about it next time.
Yes, we can talk about that on the next occasion, because that is very critical to what we do. In fact, we insist on having emerging acts on every event that we put on. So what we talk about.
Right. And then add to that, though, how the diaspora can support and how the likes of a Michelle, who's an attorney down in Florida, can participate and help.
Immigration wise, I could assist.
Well, immigration.
I'm sure you can do more than immigration, but we'll talk about it.
And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Have a great day. I remember the show today. Could you remind us about the show today and for Wednesday?
On at Ronnie Williams Entertainment.
Right. It's Tanya and more, as I tell you. It's Tanya and more. It's Bugle. It's Rasai. It's Dwayne Stevenson, Makian, voicemail, choir. There's so many artists that are on this Essence of Reggae Music Festival. It's $5,000 at the gate, 4,000 pre-sold, and it's at the Police Officers Club. And then next week, Wednesday, Harmony Beach Park, Montego Bay. We're in there with a free concert. Tell all your friends from St. James and Hanover and Trelawney and Westmoreland Eden to go over to Harmony Beach Park and have fun all day.
All right, darling.
That's good. And before you leave, where did you get the hat? I keep looking at your hat. Where you got the hat?
Some friends from Ray and Nephew gave me this hat. You know, we have to rep Jamaican rum at all times.
Yeah.
It's a part of the spirit of Jamaica. And of course, Ray and Nephew is also a sponsor of Jaria for our year-long activities. And we welcome other corporate sponsors to join with us to lift this message and to make it happen. Corporate sponsors, we accept them from Florida. We accept them from London. We accept them from Toronto. We accept them from Bermuda. We accept them from Berlin. Right? Anyway.
We're not partial.
We're not partial.
62, Michelle, is a rebranding of Appleton Rums.
Appleton Special, yes.
Appleton Special Rum.
Yes.
So if I come across the hat, I'll pick up one for you.
Thank you.
Or if I come across the other, I'll pick it for you.
You should probably take this one for you, but we'll see.
All right.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great
pleasure.
Day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was good. That was good. If I was in Jamaica, next year I need to plan for it. Yeah. And we need to do a tour. We keep saying we're doing a tour, we never do the tour. It never materialized.
Either we do it in Reggae Month or we do it in Independence period.
Yeah. When is Independence? I need to make a trip though.
August. Mish, we're running out of time.
Yeah, see.
We talk about the birthday issues and who have birthday and who don't have birthday.
Well, I don't know anybody with birthdays in February, but you know what's coming up in March? My birthday.
Well, from I think Clarendon College had its Clarendon College event, Founders Day on February 2nd. So that we usually have. February 5th, one of my friend Diana Cunningham is having her birthday. Who else? Somebody else have birthday I might have had. Those are the ones I remember for birthday. So I don't know if anybody posted about birthdays. I don't see.
You see, I don't see any comment, but I see a lot of people like are logged in on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Love that you're logged in, but your feedback would be great. So next week we'll be on again.
Yes.
Same time. hopefully no technical difficulties, and hopefully Dr. Diana is present. You know,
Yes,
I'm always here.
that plans to be present. I foresee no challenge with my getting here, and except I might be out tending my garden and checking on my seeds to make sure that nobody don't come accuse me of not.
Yeah, we like some picture updates. Could you provide us with some pictures so we actually see what's that?
I put them because I'm going to forget put them in the thing. So back to that. Sandra says, thanks you, Yuan. Have a blessed day. Diana says, have a good day. All this little 2-year-old terrorist, she called it that. Jodian says, yes, man, right now in Ochi, people want to see reggae concerts. Yes. Juliet says, very valuable information, Mr. Yuan. This has to go all year round. Yes. So that is fabulous, guys. He shared so much information with us. On the matter of birthdays, Carlene said, Madden says yesterday was her birthday. Ooh, cool.
Happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Jodian says her birthday is February 7th. Jennifer Stewart birthday today, the February 4th. Ooh. June says, glad to have caught you this week. Blessings. Thanks, June. Glad to know that you managed to have caught up with us. For all those who had birthdays, happy birthdays. For all those who will have birthdays this week, happy birthday. Next time you come and tell us what you did, how you celebrated. Mish, we have 2 minutes. What's your last take on it?
Oh, you have 2 minutes. You know, like, I do appreciate Mr. Simpson being on, telling us about all the exciting stuff that are taking place. I would say, people, for the free concerts, you know, not really free again. Definitely go out. You're gonna get quality entertainment. So definitely touch the hot spots. And as he said, you could go on the website at JARIAENTERTAINMENT.com to see what events they're having and support these events. See these local artists, because he's correct. Like, we don't really appreciate the music when we're there. Because when I'm in Jamaica, mostly American music, I hear them playing, and I'm like, what? Appreciate your music. So definitely go out. They're free. Go out, experience the food and the culture. Take a bite for me. I wish I was there.
I'll do better. I won't just eat it. I'm going to send you a picture of it. Juliet says, have a great week, ladies. Enjoyed you all. For all our listeners who joined live, and for those who will watch us later, thank you so much for your support here on Facebook and on YouTube as well. It's always a pleasure when we can talk about things that bother us and then talk about the great and successful things that are happening around us. So we don't feel so depressed and down in the doldrums, you know. So I think Heslop says, thank you guys. Thanks, Heslop, for being here. I know at -30, you're not amused, but just the thought of good reggae music, hot chocolate tea. I want to talk about that next time. What tea you're having? Are you still drinking tea at morning time?
I drink some rum. I touch a rum. I listen to your reggae music. I do a little dance. I one step. Enjoy your Saturday afternoon.
All right, guys.
Love you guys. And we have 2 minutes. So like how fast is your clock? We have 2 more minutes.
I think we probably set it fast. Forget out of the house.
We're marking to the island already.
Keisha says, what's the name of the YouTube page, Michelle?
Jaria, JARIA.
No, our YouTube that we're on.
Oh, the YouTube, it's on Leah Gillen Live.
Yeah, it says Leo Gillen Media.
Leah Gillen Media. So look up Leah Gillen Media. You can find us, have access to it. You can tune in, definitely send your messages. I'll read them. I asked you, are you going to the market after the show? You went to market already?
I went to the market yesterday, but unfortunately I have to go back to the market this morning because I want a roast breadfruit. So you didn't have any roast breadfruit yesterday. So I'm gonna go back. Breadfruit, not really, no far plenty, no. But I'd love to get it. If I don't get it at Bami, I suppose I can just eat Bami. I won't bother go. I don't need to go. I'm making
for both of us.
I'm making gungo pea soup. You know, when the ham bone and my ham
pork. One day you'll stop eating pork, I pray. But until then, everyone, enjoy your Saturday. Remember, COVID is still a thing. and the flu. So protect yourself and enjoy. Remember, we only have one life. Go to those free concerts outside, enjoy life.
And you can watch it on YouTube. There's live streaming, he says, on Facebook and things. So check that too. Guys,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure, Mish. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.